Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's back to school season and most of us will go back to school this month. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I prepare for a new academic year and share some tips that may help you be prepared as well. My first tip for preparing for an academic year is to find out which type of planning system you would like to use. I am sure that most of you are familiar with different planning systems that you like, but if you're not, there are a lot of different options, and just spend some time to figure out what works best for you and your planning needs. When it comes to planning, a general rule is that less is more. The more space you have, the more cluttered and disorganized it tends to get. So I personally prefer to use a weekly planner for university. It has enough space for the most important deadlines, and if you need extra space, it has a notes page where I can write my weekly to-do lists or anything important that I need to remember that week. It also gives you an overview of the entire week, which I really like. This year, I'll be using the Moleskine weekly planner, which I also used last semester. I also use digital planning. This I mostly use for my timetable, since then I can easily check my schedule on the go. Many universities have timetables that can be saved in either Google Calendar or iCalendar, so you get your full timetable on your phone and have it on the go. This is really helpful, especially in the beginning of the semester when you're still not used to your new timetable and not sure where all of your classes are. This is a feature that I have used ever since I started university, and if you haven't tried this out yet, I highly recommend you do. The next tip is to reuse your old stationery and supplies. When it comes to back to school season, a lot of it is about getting new supplies, a new backpack, new stationery. But before a new academic year begins, I always look through my old notebooks from last semester and my pencil case and my backpack to see what I still can use for the upcoming year. If a notebook is not completely full, I usually take out the pages and file them in a binder sorted by class, so I can still use the notebook completely instead of wasting maybe half of a blank notebook. For pens, I try to get the refillers as long as they are available instead of buying a new pen every time. This saves you money and you don't need to have a lot of pens around that don't actually work. When going through my backpack, I always check for any damage, spills, or paper scraps. And if you think your backpack looks old and dirty, try to wash it in the washing machine. I've done this myself when I spilled something in my backpack, and most backpacks can actually be washed. Instructions are either on the inside of the backpack or you can find them online. Washing a backpack can turn an old dirty backpack into a fresh new looking one, and that actually works. So by trying to just reuse your stationery and supplies that you already have as much as possible, you're not only being more economical, you're also being more eco-friendly. My next tip is to make a checklist for everything you need for the upcoming year. This upcoming semester, I've made 2 checklists, one for my stationery and supplies that I still need, and one for important tasks and deadlines that needs to be completed before the new year begins. Checklists are really great for staying organized and keeping track of your progress. Simply write down everything you need and tick the box when the task is complete. I found them very helpful, especially when there's a lot of things that needs to be done, like when prepping for a new semester. The next tip is to get an overview of your curriculum. When you're registered for a class, you can usually find the curriculum on the class site. Take a look at it before the semester starts just to get an overview of what you are going to learn. Many textbooks also have sample versions online where you can read through the tables and content, and sometimes also the first chapter when this is available. I found it very helpful because you can familiarize yourself with the textbook beforehand. Another tip is to buy used textbooks. Textbooks are really expensive and it can save you a lot of money buying it from someone else instead of new from the bookstore. Also, ask students in the year above if you need the textbooks for the specific class. Personally, I've had classes where I never actually used the textbooks because the professors had handouts that were better and more course specific. The professors always recommend you to purchase the newest edition of the textbook, but a lot of times the older editions will do just as fine. If this is not specified, ask or email your professor about which editions of the textbooks you can use for the course. I would not recommend purchasing the textbooks before unless you are specifically told to have it by the first lecture. Usually you can get a feel of whether you need it or not by the first 2 weeks, so I would recommend to wait and see unless you absolutely need your textbook in the beginning of the year. Another thing that I found very helpful is to create a budget, or if this is your first time moving out, create a temporary budget for the upcoming academic year. If you have scholarships, student loans, and stipend money, you need to budget, as well as costs for supplies, rent, textbooks, food. It's very smart to just set up a temporary budget so that you have an idea of what you'll spend money on, how much you need to spend each month, and how to budget your money. I created this budget in Excel with one of their many free templates as a starting point, and then I easily can edit it throughout the year to figure out how much I will actually spend each month. My final preparation tip is that you set goals for what you want to accomplish for this year. By doing this, you will reflect more over how you can actually achieve these goals and your study methods, and you will also have something more specific to work towards throughout the year. Setting goals is really important to just keep yourself accountable and keep your motivation up. I find them extremely helpful as a reminder of why I'm studying and why I should keep working hard. That was it for how I prepare for a new academic year. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found some of the tips helpful. If you have any other tips that I didn't mention, please feel free to share them in the comment section down below. The best of luck to everyone starting university this year and to everyone that's going back to school. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!